I spent about 4, maybe 5 hours bush hogging all this back into the woods as far as I could, based on where I know the property lines are and some of the other features that I can see from the aerial photo. And it looks like it's going to be a little bit over 3/4 of an acre. All right, there's my sinkhole. Let's see if I can zoom in on it. Welcome back to Backroads DIY. In this video series, we're going to be walking through our pond dig. So we are actually going to be building on this piece of property. Plan is for the house to kind of go up here in this area on top of kind of this hill here, with a barn kind of over back by the property line. And then this used to be a cattle farm many years ago. It was about 40 acres here. And we're going to have a walkout basement, and that is for the back side of the house to be facing a pond, which used to be down here at the bottom of the hill. I'll show you here in a few minutes, but it's all dried up. There's actually a sinkhole or two down there, but this is first video of many, kind of just describing what the plan is for this piece of property here. We're going to take out all these cedar trees. They're all fairly young. They grew up after the cattle were taken off the property. And we're going to doze all of these trees, push them down the hill down here, open all this up so we have a nice clear view from the living room and the back porch, looking down at the pond. We're going to go downhill here. I came through and bush hogged this a couple weeks ago, so it's fairly clear. It's still pretty tall in areas though. It's hard to get an idea of how big this is down here. But it's just a big giant bowl. If I stop down here towards the bottom, kind of pan back around, you can see how far down we are. That up there, I'm a little bit over 6 feet tall. That area up there is probably another 6 feet, maybe 8 feet above my head. And all the topsoil over all the years just kind of washed down the hill, washed down here into this valley. So there's a ton of topsoil. My guess is that there's anywhere from 6 to 10 feet of topsoil that needs to come out of here first. We're going to use that up by the house whenever it's finished and do the yard and whatnot. But we need to dig down to clay, and then we need to use as much clay as we can from digging the basement to come in and pack this down. We have a lot of clay in this area, a lot of red clay, but it's really good at holding moisture. So my pan kind of around here, you can see this is kind of the bottom of the bowl. But this tree line over here is not the end of the pond line. I actually bush hogged back here through here, and it goes that way probably another 20 feet. And when it's all said and done, it's likely that this pond will probably be close to 3/4 of an acre, maybe an acre in size, and probably anywhere from 10 to maybe about 20 feet deep. It kind of depends on how far that clay layer is down. And let's walk back here. Oh, got a bunch of deer running through the woods. Let's go up here, and let's see, it's over here. All right, there's my sinkhole. Let's see if I can zoom in on it. There's several different sinkholes on this property. Heard from the neighbor that they used to actually come out in some of the larger sinkholes and do some spelunking down in, and there's a giant cave system in the area, one of the nation's largest cave systems. I'm sure they all kind of drain into that at some point, but I've talked with 3 separate contractors now. They all seem that they can work with the sinkhole. I don't have to line it, more than likely, the pond, but the plan is to dig that out, clean it all out, get the tree out, get any kind of rock out, and then pack it full of clay, cap it off, build up dirt up around it, kind of burn this area up and stay away from that as much as we can. Here's just another look at it. We're hoping to build this fall. Instead, use the topsoil from down here up around the house and use the clay from digging the basement down here. But really excited about this. Had a couple ponds at my property when I was growing up. Love to fish. Love just the aesthetic nature of a pond as well. But yeah, so this is what it looks like before. I'll try to get some videos whenever we actually get a contractor out here in the next month or two and show some of the progress. Excited to see how this turns out. Here we are a couple weeks later. I'm probably about a few weeks later after I shot the first video. I came back and bush hogged some more down here. Spoke with another contractor about the job. And there's deer running through the woods. Not sure if you can see them or not. Back there. But I wanted to come down here and just show you a little bit better. Instead of got all this bush hogged. Kind of gives you a better sense of the size of the ponds here. So this would be kind of the left-hand side of it. If I stand here at this point and shoot all the way across, you can see that over here is close to the, let's see, if I find my finger, there it is. Over in there is kind of the far edge of the pond. I'll go around this way. I spent about 4, maybe 5 hours bush hogging all this back into the woods as far as I could. Looks a lot better now. It's all a lot more clear. It gives the contractors a better visibility into kind of how big the project is. The ones I talked with, or one we're probably going to go with, said it'll take probably about 3 days of clearing the land, pushing all the trees and stuff in down here at the bottom, burning those trees, and then start digging all the topsoil out of here and getting down to clay. And here's our sinkhole I showed you earlier in the video. And we'll walk this way. We're here. And I used our online GIS and kind of mapped it out based on where I know the property lines are and some of the other features that I can see from the aerial photo. And it looks like it's going to be a little bit over 3/4 of an acre, like I had originally kind of guessed. Maybe upwards of an acre, depending on how full the water line is or where the water line ends up being. But really excited for this project. Hoping to eventually have, once we get water in it here in a couple months, get a fountain out there, maybe an aerator as well. Would like to have a dock kind of over on the far side and maybe a waterfall over here on this corner. If you're watching this and have any experience with aerators or pond pumps, drop a comment, let me know what you suggest. I would like to kind of go the solar route just because my electric is not going to be very close to the pond down here. So if I go with a solar system, I'd be interested in that. Or if you are a company that would like to possibly work together, send me a message. Be happy to work with somebody on this. I just said really excited for this project. Appreciate you watching. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.